All right, today we're going to begin talking about consumer and debt and credit. Probably one of the more interesting and applicable units we're going to go over. This one and the next one with budgeting and saving and investing. It's going to be affecting your life on a daily basis in the next, for the rest of your life. So first thing I want to talk about is consumer. Most of us would know that we're all consumers, but that's any person or group that buys or uses goods and services to satisfy personal needs and wants. When we have income, your salary or income coming in, your disposable income is money a person has left after all taxes have been paid. That's also called your net income. So your gross income would be your salary before taxes. So if you made $40,000 a year for your salary, that's your gross income. Your net income would be that minus your taxes, which would usually be about 25% of that is usually what they take out for your taxes, which would be about $10,000. So you would end up with a net income of $30,000, and that'd be your disposable income. Your discretionary income then is money left over that is saved or spent on extras such as luxury items. This is going to be after your bills are paid. So maybe this is going to be on a vacation or a TV or something like that. That would be your discretionary income. This chart just shows consumer spending, where the dollar all goes. You notice that food, drink, and tobacco is 23%, household expenses 15%. And just nice little chart just to show you where our spending tends to go for us. Also another chart showing you where the money goes as well. I just give you a little bit different look at where your money is going to end up going. And this one I always think is one of the most interesting charts to see. This is how many days per year America works to pay taxes compared to other major spending categories. So if you notice that federal and state taxes round up to be 90 some days. 116 days. So if you think about that, that is almost 4 months of the year where you're working just to pay off the taxes. So basically from January through April, you're working just to pay federal and state and local taxes off. I think that's just a remarkable thing. And then you look at the other pie chart, rest of that, and see what else goes on to your payments. Consumer rights. This was first brought to Congress by John Fitzgerald Kennedy, or JFK, in 1962. It's the right to safety, the right to be informed, the right to choose, and the right to be heard. These are all things that we need to know to protect us as consumers. We have the right to safety. You have the food, recalls or safety recalls. The right to be informed. They have to tell you certain things about the product. You have the right to choose, where you choose your different products. And then you have the right to be heard, where you can call in to complain to a company for whatever topic it might be or whatever product it might be. Disregard the assignments there. You don't need to do them. All right, so now we're going to talk about credit. Credit is a remarkable thing. It can be great. It can hurt. You definitely got to watch your credit. So I'm going to give you some stats here. First of all, you do not need to write these down. 88% of graduating college seniors have credit card debt before they even have a job. Think about that. Almost 9 out of 10 of you are going to have debt before you even get out of college, before you even have a job. That's a pretty scary statistic without a doubt. Teenagers, 10% of teens have a checking account, 7% have access to a parent's credit card, 200,000 bankruptcy cases filed by young adults ages 18 and 25, 60% of students saying they've never had a meaningful conversation about personal finances with their parents. I really hope you have a meaningful conversation with your parents about personal finance, credit cards, anything you need to ask your parents, your grandparents about this. I think it's a great thing for you to find out about. 28% of freshmen more than $3,000 in credit card debt, 51% of freshmen delinquent on their credit card payments, and up to 10% of college students who will drop out due to credit card problems. All right, this is where you need to start taking notes again. Credit, this is the receiving of funds either directly or indirectly to buy goods and services today with a promise to pay for them in the future. A principal is the amount originally borrowed. If I want to borrow $15,000 for a car, that's my principal. Interest then is amount the borrower must pay for the use of someone else's funds. So anytime I am borrowing money from somebody, I'm using their funds. Therefore, I'm going to pay them interest for using those funds. And that's going to add up into what your monthly payment's going to be and could add up to giving you problems in the long run. I'm going fast here, I know, but I have a time limit here on the slides. Installment debt, this is equal payments over time. 36 equal amounts over 36 months is an example. Most people buy durable goods, such as cars, refrigerators, washers, using an installment plan or installment debt. The lowest form of installment debt is a mortgage. A mortgage is when you wrap up if you buy a house, then your house, the buildings, and the land are all wrapped up into one payment, and that's called your mortgage. 5 advantages to credit: immediate possession. Obviously, if you have a credit card or credit, you can go get what you want right away. Flexibility, it gives you a lot of flexibility. Safety, they're very safe. If you lose your wallet and your credit cards are in there, then you can easily call and get them to cancel your credit card. Where money, cash, you just lose it. Good emergency funds. I know that was my first credit card. My parents gave one to me because I was driving back and forth to college. And that way, if I needed gas sometime, I didn't have cash, I could use that. And character reference. We'll talk a lot about character reference as we go and about how that builds and helps you in the long run if you have good credit ratings. Then we have 3 disadvantages of credit: overspending, higher cost, and impulse buying. Again, overspending, this is we tend to overspend. It's easier to spend using a credit card. We're willing to spend more money doing that than we are if we have cash. You're willing to pay a higher cost for something. And impulse buying. You might think that, it might be good to see those new Nike shoes. I think I want that. You might have a little bit more impulse buying with credit. Whereas if you had cash, you would be less likely to do so. All right, so when you go to a bank and ask for credit for a loan of some sort, they're going to look at 5 different things here, 5 C's of credit. Look at your character. So that's why it's always kind of good to maybe bank in a small town where they might know you. What's your capacity? Your capital? What are the conditions of the loan? And then what is the collateral? What collateral is basically what can you give them in return if you default on the loans? For example, in class, if you don't have a pencil, I might ask for a shoe to give you a pencil. Therefore, I know I'm getting my pencil back because you're going to need the shoe back. Okay, so collateral is going to be where what do you have to give to the bank or car dealership in return if you default on your loans? A cosigner, this is a person with an acceptable credit rating who agrees to repay a loan if the borrower cannot. Many times it might be your parents. Maybe when you're first getting a credit card, or you need to maybe go buy a car and you need credit and you don't have a credit rating, your parents can go sign that cosign with you on that. But if you stop paying on your loan or if you default on your loan, then they're going to go to the cosigner. They'll go to your parent who will then have to pay that part of your loan. Again, credit card use among college students: 3,100 average credit card debt, 7,900 average credit limit. Average number of credit cards, 5.96. You can see the stats there. Credit cards are very, very scary for college kids. It's where that many kids can get in trouble and start off their careers and their lives in credit card debt. And it's a huge problem as we'll see.